So, do you see yourself in these stories? Can you hear yourself talking about the first time that you encountered someone who introduced you to Nu Skin? Pretty special experience. I want to share with you today my story. So bear with me. Don't fall asleep. Okay? I can see you. I grew up 44 years ago, about 6 miles away from the Nu Skin campus. Grew up in a very large family of 10 people. My father was a very hardworking, honest man. My mother was the perfect mother. She would do anything for us kids. She worked hard. They did what they could to provide for us. About the time I was 12 years old, I had to actually, she had to go back to work. Us kids, we were getting too expensive to raise on a single income. So she went back to work. And about that time, my grandfather and my grandmother from California left their beloved Bay Area to come to Utah and help raise us children. Now at that time, my grandfather, for whatever reason, took an interest in me, personally. At 12 years old, he began to give me books. Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking. Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. He would give me his used magazines, Fortune magazine, Kiplinger's magazines. As a 12-year-old kid, I didn't know what they were saying. I would thumb through these magazines. One day, I was thumbing through a Kiplinger's and there was an advertisement. This advertisement was in Kiplinger's. As a 12-year-old boy, I ripped out the advertisement from the magazine. There was a quote on it. It's a man sitting at the beach. He's looking out into the distance. The quote says, "Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you've imagined." Now, as a 12-year-old boy, I had no idea what that meant for me. I had no vision of what I wanted to become. All I had was this tiny desire deep inside of me to do something more. And that began my pursuit and my journey. What I've learned over the past 32 years, as I've looked at this quote, or I've thought about it in my head every single day, is that the thoughts that we put into our head and the thoughts that we rehearse in our minds become actions. Our actions become habits. Our habits ultimately will become behaviors, and behaviors over lifetime generate outcomes. Does that make sense? Realizing our potential is all about putting the stories in our head that we can do more, that we can be more, forming a vision of who we are and who we need to become. We are all flawed people. We all have challenges, but we all can aspire for greatness. My wife and I have spent the last 15 years traveling the world for Nu Skin. We've raised 3 children, Savannah, Cole, and Ava, and I think they're here today over here. I've just sent my oldest, thank you. Clearly they're the better half, right? We've just sent our oldest off to school, to university. I was pulling out of the driveway, we packed her car up, and we started driving to California. We loved a road trip every summer. But this time it was different. This time she was leaving, and she wasn't coming back. And as I'm driving down the street, I remembered in my mind everything that I had done as a father. What have I taught her? What have I given her? It doesn't matter the car she's driving, the clothes she's wearing. It doesn't matter the education she has. The greatest gift that I could give her is for her to understand her potential, her unrelenting, undying potential to become whatever it is that she wants to become. Isn't that what we do? Isn't that what we're all about? Over the last 22 years, as we've traveled around the world, I've come to learn that I'm not alone in my pursuit of living the life that I imagine. Every single one of you, all 7 billion people on the face of this planet, are seeking a better life, a way to help their families, earn a little bit of extra money to pay for dance lessons, to repair a refrigerator, to pay a medical bill, and much more to achieve their dreams and fulfill those things. What I love about our opportunity is that at Nu Skin, this is precisely what we do. We empower people to improve lives. Even Lucas is there from China. We empower people to improve lives. We have exactly what the world needs. You know, Rich mentioned Truman Hunt, who was a mentor to each of us in the company for years and years. For many of you who listened to Truman's last conference call to investors last year, you heard him say something. And if you heard the same message, if you listened carefully enough, it's sitting somewhere in your heart because it sat in mine. He said, the world needs what we have. In a world seeking opportunity, we provide for all. We don't care what your education is. We don't care what your CV is. We don't care what your family dynamic is. All we care about is your desire to improve other people's lives, empowering others to improve lives. That's all it takes to be successful in the Nu Skin business. The world needs what we want. The world needs freedom. They need flexibility, and they need purpose. They need fulfillment. The U Revolution is all about that. It's all about finding and realizing our potential together to do something more. Does that make sense? Good. Sorry, I'm asking for feedback just to make sure you're still awake. So let me talk about this amazing, thank you, okay. Good. Let's go. Yeah. Good. You guys, there has never been a better time, and I know that's a cliche phrase in English, there's never been a better time, but I'm telling you, there has never been a better time. The world is changing and accelerating at a faster pace than ever before. Just think of this. Only 200 years ago, the world was back in the dark, people working on farms. There were no cities. There were no cities and urban environments. Everyone was living in farms. And then the Industrial Revolution happened. And that Industrial Revolution brought people out of their farms, right, and brought them into the cities where people started working in factories all day long. Well, over time, people realized that waking up and going to a factory was not the quality of life that they wanted. And that Industrial Revolution shifted. And the Industrial Revolution became an entrepreneurial revolution in the 1950s and 60s, where people began to realize there was more to life. Then technology entered. 1970s, 1980s, amazing enterprises were created. The world began to be connected via the internet. Today we're entering a new economic era. We're entering the social revolution. And I want to talk about that in a moment. But think about this, you guys. In 1900, the World Bank estimated that the global GDP, the global economy, was $1 trillion equivalent, okay? 1900. By 1960, the economy had grown to $10 trillion. By 2000, it had grown to $48 trillion. Today, the World Bank reported in 2016 the global economy is estimated to be $77 trillion, and it will double in the next 10 years. Nearly $150 trillion. What is driving this massive evolution? What's driving this craze of prosperity that is now impacting 7 billion people for the better? There are 4 trends that we see that we believe are changing the world. Let's talk about the first one. First, it's the rise of a new generation. Do you realize that in the next 3 years, over 1 billion millennials will enter the workforce? 1 billion people, millennials, will enter. This is the largest group, larger than baby boomer, larger than Generation X. Millennials will be the largest group in the workforce. Now, what's interesting about millennials is that millennials have a unique way of looking at the world, right? Any of us that are raising millennials know this. Millennials have watched their parents grow up in traditional employment environments. And they're saying, hey, I want more. I want freedom. I want flexibility to live the life I want. I want a quality of life, and I want purpose. I want to do something that contributes to the world. Do you know anybody like this? Does that sound familiar? And what's interesting is that this is actually impacting each of us. I'm not a millennial. I wish I was. We're all getting older. But it's impacting the way that we see ourselves. Everyone in the world is seeking freedom, flexibility, and fulfillment. The rise of the new generation. Our second macro trend that's impacting it is really what we call the rise of the micro-entrepreneur. We're all familiar with entrepreneurs, right? Every great company, Samsung, Microsoft, Apple, General Electric, every company has been formed by a vision of a great entrepreneur who saw the world and thought they could change it. Micro-entrepreneurship is a little bit different than that. Micro-entrepreneurship is about not one person or 5 people. Micro-entrepreneurship is about 7 billion people. It's a movement that McKinsey & Company is now reporting as 30% of the working population today is involved in a micro-entrepreneurial opportunity. 30%. That's 1 in every 3 people. In the next 10 years, they project that will be over 50%. In some markets, it will be 75% of the workforce. Now, guys, think about that. Just 10 years ago, if you were to approach new people and ask them about a business opportunity, 1 in 10 would tell you that they were interested, 1 in 10, because only 1 in 10 was doing it. Today, 1 in every 3 people are involved in an independent opportunity of some form. Fast forward 10 years, it's 1 in every 2. So the second macro trend is the rise of this micro-entrepreneurship, which leads to our third trend, which is the rise of the gig economy. How many of you have heard the term gig economy? Yes? The gig economy is being fueled by millennials and micro-entrepreneurs. We're seeing enormous businesses created. Think of Uber, Airbnb. Think of these companies, Alibaba, that are being formed as platforms that enable people to live and work in a more free and flexible environment. The gig economy is all about driving new growth, new business growth, and that's a huge trend. This movement will continue as we talk about the fourth mega trend, which is the rise of social. There's a great quote by a founder of a technology company called Hootsuite, in which he talks about the rise of social, and he says, there is an economic revolution that's far bigger than the internet. It's called social. Each of you know what I'm talking about. 4 billion people today are connected to the internet. 2.3 billion people are connected to social networks. Do you realize in the last few years, as commerce has connected with social networks to form what we call social commerce, over $4 trillion per year are generated through social commerce? Now think about that, you guys. That would make social commerce the 5th largest global economy in the world. Social commerce is larger than virtually every country in the world, and it's growing at 5 times the pace. The future is social. The question is, how do you play in that social world? Now, we at Nu Skin, we watch these trends. We've been monitoring them. All of our leaders look at this because we have to understand what the future will be and how Nu Skin can enable you and your success. We believe that Nu Skin is the perfect opportunity platform. We believe that Nu Skin is the perfect opportunity platform. We have 33 years of experience understanding how entrepreneurs work, understanding how the gig economy and the environments work together, how to bring entrepreneurship into the houses of every single family and city and village that Rich talked about. We provide aspiring entrepreneurs with an opportunity for them to live lives on their terms. Again, your life, your business, in your way. So, once we know what we need to do, and I'm getting hoarse, once we know what we need to do, we need to move quickly. We need to move very aggressively. As Rich mentioned, we have been working over the last year in these new roles to form the right strategy to help you be successful in your entrepreneurial endeavors. Our focus has been upon what initiatives we can do that empower you to build your independent business as your business partner. We define this as our growth strategy, G-R-O-W. Can I hear that? G-R-O-W. You got it? Growth strategy, there are 3 pillars of the growth strategy. I want to briefly talk about each of these, and you're going to be hearing about these over the next 2 days, okay? Here are the 3 pillars. First, engaging platforms. Second, enabling products. And third, empowering programs, okay? So first, let's talk about engaging platforms. As we discussed, social is becoming the new norm. In fact, there was a study done by Facebook just several years ago in which I love to use this study because they talk about the number of friends that people have today. Think about before Facebook. If I were to give you a piece of paper and tell you to write the names of your friends, how many people could you put on that piece of paper? Well, I'll tell you, on average, it was 56, because that's what we used to do. We used to give you a piece of paper with all the lines, and on average, people could list about 56. Friends, family, neighbors, dentist, postman, whoever. You could create a very small list. Facebook reported just recently that the average number of friends that people have on Facebook is over 300. Guys, think about that. 300 friends. That's nearly a 10-time increase in the number of friends you have. Now, some people say that, yeah, but those aren't really friends. Social, those people aren't really friends. They're just friends on Facebook. Well, I don't know how you define friends. But when I start to know their birthday, I start to know what their children actually wore to school, I start to know what they ate for dinner, where they went on vacation. I have more information today through social about my friends than I ever had before. Don't you agree? There's far more reach, you guys. Think about it. It's not just your friends, it's your friends of friends. You have a whole community. The power of this community is enormous as we build our business. So the question is, how do we enable you? What kind of tools and technologies can we provide you? We're directly focused on accelerating our investment in technology that will enable you to better connect with these friends that you have around the world, whether they're on WeChat, QQ, KakaoTalk, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, I don't care. Wherever they are, we want you connecting. And our commitment is to build the tools for you. Now, you're going to hear about these very, very shortly at a launch session called Grow with Social, okay? Grow with Social. You're going to be hearing more about that, but this is our first pillar of our growth strategy. Our second pillar is enabling products. As Rich mentioned, Nu Skin is committed to making our exclusive innovation accessible to the world. We have some of the most powerful products on the planet for nutrition and personal care. But a lot of these products are so exclusive that people can't afford it. If we really want to go out and change the world, change every single life, 7 billion people, we can't just be here. We've got to be able to be here, we've got to be here, we've got to be here. We've got to be able to get everyone and touch their lives. How do we bring innovation to the world? We do the best of nature and science. We are committed to continuing to provide you with those best of nature and science products. We have 2 workshops that will begin this afternoon. The first workshop is about enabling or growing with Nu Skin's evolution. And you have to hit this workshop, you guys. You have to hit it. You're going to hear about the new branding of the company. Some of us, you're seeing the colorfulness, the vibrancy. We want to ensure that our brand is as vibrant for you today and into the future as it has ever been. So come and hear about the branding. Come and hear about our product portfolio extension, some of the new product initiatives that are going on. Some of these are just concepts. We're getting your feedback. Do they work? Do they not work? Are they helpful? Are they good products? It's testing. You're market testing right now a lot of these products that you bought in your kits, right? Some of those products are coming to market quickly to your markets individually. So come to the Nu Skin, the Grow with Nu Skin Evolution workshop. The second workshop is the one that you're going to hear from Joe Chang on Grow with LumiSpa, right? By the way, I have to tell you, Joe Chang is now the highest viewed Nu Skin Facebook person of all time. I'm trying to beat him, but I'm like, Joe's here, and I'm like way down here. But you can come and hear from Joe personally at the workshop. And Dr. Joe is going to tell you about the technology behind this dual action treatment and cleanse device. You guys, there is nothing on the marketplace like this. This is proprietary technology that we have developed with our scientists in-house. This is a $5 billion marketplace today that has many competitors. We are going to disrupt $5 billion marketplace. The question is, how much can we take? We believe it is at least our next billion-dollar brand. Do you believe we can do that together? Absolutely, we can do that together. Absolutely. So come to the Grow with LumiSpa workshop. You're going to learn more about that. Okay, our third pillar and final pillar, and then I'll shut up. Our third pillar is empowering programs. Now, I am personally so excited about this because we know that today's micro-entrepreneurs demand different dynamics to a business opportunity than the past. People are seeking part-time income, supplemental income, replacement income. In addition to aspiring for great wealth, the majority of the population today needs $100 or $200 or $500 to benefit their family. Nu Skin has always been the world's leading leadership-driven company. You are all here today because of your success, because of your ability to build leadership organizations, and Nu Skin will continue to be the leader of leadership companies. That is our commitment. We are working on a plan that will enable us to not only be world's leading leadership-driven company, but to provide greater opportunity for aspiring entrepreneurs, people that are just starting the business. They're just getting going. They just need a little bit. And once they build that little bit, they'll expand, they'll grow, their business will become better. So we are excited to introduce to you Velocity. Velocity is Nu Skin's next business model innovation. Think back, Nu Skin back in 1984 was the first company to offer the depth of leadership compensation in the industry. As we began to expand internationally, Nu Skin became the first company to offer a global, seamless opportunity. that enabled you to build anywhere in the world and receive compensation in your own home market. Nu Skin was the first to build what we called the Wealth Maximizer compensation plan that paid you the better of two different compensation structures and really enabled us to create greater earning potential for new leadership. With Velocity, our next business model innovation, we are going to enable a more flexible, a more fast, and a more future-looking business opportunity than ever before. So that is all I'll say about that here, but I need you to go to the Grow with Velocity workshop. Are you willing to do that? Okay. So let me just say this, 2 final points. We have set very ambitious targets. You heard Rich talk about going at fast speed. Once you know what it is that you want to achieve, there is no time to rest. There's no time to wait. There's no time to sit down and take a break. Now's the time to go. We've set ambitious goals. Our first goal is to achieve 1 million customers and 100,000 sales leaders. We are working on that right now. We want to achieve that goal as fast as humanly possible, and I need to ask for your help in doing that. All it takes is get one more customer, one more distributor, one more new executive. By growing one more, we will achieve this goal immediately. So I'm asking you, please, can you help me with that goal by year's end? There we go. There we go. Now listen, if you want to do 2, grow 2 more. That's fine. But start with 1, go to 2. You guys, this isn't about growth, is not simply for growth's sake. Our co-founder Steve Lund said that we do well by doing good. When this business grows, we touch more lives. We improve more lives. We grow more people and enable them, empower them to change their circumstance and the circumstance around them. We are blessed with one life to live on this planet. You are here today through a series of events that brought you here. I would just ask you the question, what are you going to do with this life? What is it that you want to accomplish? What is your vision for yourself, for those around you? This is what the U Revolution is all about. Your life, your business, and your way. There has never been a better opportunity at a better time with the macro trends and the winds behind pushing us forward. But it requires us to expand our vision for ourselves of what it is that we want to accomplish. We are your trusted partner in this business. We understand that this is your business. This isn't Nu Skin's business. Nu Skin is a micro-entrepreneurship company. Each of you are entrepreneurs. You have your own business. We're here to be your partners, to provide you platforms, products, and programs to enable your success. We thank you for being a part of us. We thank you for us being a part of you. We are one family. Now I want to share with you, in closing, what our Nu Skin leaders are doing on their own stories.